After an off day to recharge their batteries, the Cubs open up a 6-game National League East homestand tonight. Gorgeous night at Wrigley Field. The Cubs will battle the New York Mets. And great to have you with us. Jim DeShays, Len Casper with you. And let's meet the Mets. We haven't seen the Mets this season. A game under 500, 3.5 out in the National League East, and just played a very long series in Philly.
Yeah, 2 14-inning games, an 11-inning game. They took 4 out of 5 from Philly. They've won 7 of their last 8. In 6 of their last 7, they've outscored their opponents by 20 runs. The starting pitching has been outstanding for the Mets over the last 10 days or so. Who are they offensively? Well, they walk a lot, most in the National League. They strike out a lot, most in the National League, and they don't hit a lot of home runs. Not really exciting baseball, but lately it's been winning baseball for the Mets.
And the Cubs today had to put their starting catcher Wellington Castillo on the disabled list. John Baker's going to get a lot of playing time here coming up.
Yeah, and tonight he'll be behind the plate for Jake Arrieta, who's been pitching quite well lately on the last road trip. Really good in San Diego. The number's not so good last time out in San Francisco, but I thought he threw the ball really well. And we'll take a look at young Met right-hander Zach Wheeler tonight, a kid with a plus arm with some control issues.
All right, the Cubs on this homestand honoring the decade of the 1940s here at Wrigley Field. And again, a beautiful night on the north side. We'll have all the action coming up next.
Heat shields are compromised. We have multiple failures. Are those thrusters burning?
That's negative. What's that alarm?
Fuel cell 2 is down. I'm after Granderson manually.
This is very exciting. But I'm at my stop.
Come again?
I'm watching this on the train. It's so hard to leave. Good luck with everything.
With the UVerse TV app, the UVerse revolves around you.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends too.
It's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook. Book your next special memory at the Champagne Lodge today. You know you deserve it.
I referred 4 of my neighbors to DirecTV, and now I get $40 off my bill every month. But the real reason I did it was that stupid cable van. It seemed like every week there it was, ripping out this, tearing up this. I mean, it was always something. DirecTV is reliable, and you get the best channels.
Refer a friend to DirecTV, and you'll both get $10 off your bill every month. Just give them your account number before they call 1-855-REFER-NOW.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T UVerse. AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
First home game here in the month of June, and it's like a beautiful night. Maybe a slight breeze coming in off the lake. Blue skies above as the Cubs host the Mets. First of 3 consecutive night games. And then the Marlins come in Friday afternoon for the weekend. Meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets. Their Southwest starting lineup. Matt Den Decker is in center. Juan Lagares off to a great start, just went on the disabled list. Daniel Murphy, David Wright, they are hit collectors. You see, they're both in the 290s. It's been a rough start to Curtis Granderson's Mets career. Chris Young has been slumping. Lucas Duda has taken over a lot of the time at first after the trade of Ike Davis. Wilmer Flores coming off the best offensive game of his career last night. Travis d'Arnaud is the catcher, and the pitcher, Zach Wheeler.
Sponsors the Cubs defense tonight. Coghlan Lake Shearholes are going to patrol the outfield here at Wrigley. In field, Valbuena, Castro, Bonifacio, and Anthony Rizzo. Behind the plate, John Baker. He'll be doing more catching now with Wellington going on the DL. Our Lexus pursuing starting pitcher for the Cubs tonight. One Jake Arrieta. He's made 5 starts, 1-1 with a .320 earned run average. More ground balls so far this year for Arrieta than he has featured in the past. He's allowed just the 1 home run in 25 in the 3rd innings, making just his 2nd career appearance against the Mets. He made a start against them while with Baltimore back in June of 2012.
Get the umpires for you. Tim Welke is the crew chief, and he'll work home plate. Todd Titchener, Clint Fagan, and Tim Timmons around the bases.
So it's fastball, 92 to 95 for Jake. He throws a cut fastball as well in the high 80s. Curveball's probably been his best pitch. That's a real out pitch for him. He's using it more frequently. Maybe that's why more ground balls so far this year. He also has a changeup and a slider.
So Den Decker will lead things off. And the first pitch is a called strike. Outside corner, 93 from Arrieta. These two teams, former National League East, the old division rivals. All-time series since 1962. Going back to prior to divisional play. The Cubs holding a 4-game advantage. 354 wins, 350 losses.
I expect a lot of patient at bats from these Met hitters tonight. We showed you in the open how they walk more than anybody in the league, more than any team, strike out more than any team. That's the MO, the strikeout part not of it, but the patient approach. That's a real point of emphasis for the Mets.
So Terry Collins, their manager, native of Midland, Michigan, where Dow Chemical was founded in 1897.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes. My grandfather worked for Dow. That's a base hit. Right back through the box, and Den Decker is aboard.
Den Decker. Seems like he would be from Holland.
He's from Florida.
He's from Florida. He's got himself a leadoff single. And this is exactly the approach I was talking about. Patient, wait till you get a pitch in the zone, something you feel like you can attack. That's the game plan. Of course, that's not just the Mets. That's a lot of teams are trying to do in baseball now. So they got the on-base component going so far, but they're not hitting for much average, and they don't hit for power.
Now Daniel Murphy, who has always had good success in this yard, 357 with 4 homers at Wrigley and 42 at bats. And he takes a strike. Perfect weather, 72 degrees. Breeze out of the east at 8.
My goodness, isn't it perfect night for ball?
Somebody was asking me about the perfect weather, temperature. This was an hour ago. I said 72 degrees. If it could be that every day, I'm good.
Yeah.
We'll get some rain overnight. Just underway, Matt Den Decker with a leadoff hit, and Murphy lines out to Valbuena. What a play! Luis Valbuena lays out and takes away probably a double from Murphy.
I thought it was by him. I was looking for the ball in the left field corner. What a tremendous play for Valbuena and a nice break for Arrieta. That's at least second and third, nobody out.
Valbuena back in the lineup after battling some abdominal soreness, and comes up with a huge defensive play right off the bat. Now David Wright, who's leading the National League in hits with 72. Mets score on the road. They don't score much at home. And David Wright slugging .403. That's about 100 points off his career mark. There goes Den Decker, and Baker's throw is not in time. That's a stolen base. His first.
Yeah, he got to the bag prior to the tag. Mets third in the league in stolen bases. That's their 43rd. They've been caught 17 times. 71% success rate, just a little bit below league average. Big chunk of those stolen bases. Oh, Eric Young Jr. He's 17 out of 18 currently. Banged up.
Whoop. That gets by Baker. And we should point out, John Baker is going to get a lot of the starts now with Castillo on the disabled list. Eli Whiteside will get some spot starts, especially against lefties. Baker basically had been the personal catcher for Jason Hamill. He caught Edwin Jackson last week, and will probably catch everybody in the rotation here at some point. 2-0 on Wright. There it is. That missed 3 balls, no strikes.
Did not want to give in to David Wright there. 2 balls, no strikes. You have to be careful, though, to not fall into a trap of being too defensive early in the ball game. Right tardy on a 3-0 fastball.
Granderson on deck, the Chicago native. On the pitch, ball 4. And here comes Granderson.
At the plate, right fielder, number 3, Curtis Granderson.
So Granderson back in his hometown. His numbers have gone down pretty consistently the last several years. He had a big year in 2011 with the Yanks. He had 43 homers in 2012, but had a low batting average. Last year was kind of a lost season in his final year with the Yankees. 2 DL stints. Then he got a 4-year $60 million free agent contract to go across town, and he's still trying to get it going. And he and Arrieta matched up a lot in the American League East. Yankees and Orioles. Now Mets and Cubs in the National League.
Those home run numbers have to go down. You make the move across town in New York from Yankee Stadium, which is such a home run friendly ballpark, especially for left-handed hitters. Primarily for left-handed hitters, to Citi Field, where it's tough for anybody to hit the long ball.
Well, the dimensions have been a lot made about Citi Field, and they had actually moved the fences in, but you talk to people who've watched this team all year. They say that they're stressed out at home. We know Mets fans, they don't wait around to boo. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact they're scoring more on the road or not, if they're just too tight playing at home. But that doesn't really make sense, man. You're going to play 81 of your games in one place. You'd like to think that's where you're comfortable.
Yeah, you'd like to think those numbers are going to even out a little bit. They're one of only 4 teams in the league with a winning road record, and hitting close to league average on the road, but 5-point runs per game, that's the best mark in the National League, second best in the major leagues.
Spot here for Arrieta, first and third, only 1 out. The 2-1 is low. It's 3-1. Well, we can debate the merits of Philly fans versus Met fans on this next road trip, but not an easy place to play, especially if you struggle. The kick and the pitch, and a line shot to center. It's going to be caught by Lake. Then Decker will score. That's a sacrifice fly on a scorching line out by Curtis Granderson, and it's 1-0 Mets.
Mets getting some pretty good whacks here in the first inning. This ball sharply hit. You see the throw sailing up the line. Willis Jr. able to keep this ball low enough, or forced Wright to read that throw coming back in, and he was not able to move into scoring position himself.
Veteran Chris Young hitting just .202 and under $150 his last 25 games. Wright's at first, a run in, 2 outs. Fly ball to left. Chris Coughlin will make the catch, and the inning is over. The Mets get 1. The Cubs are coming up when we return.
At Southwest, we want all of our passengers to be free. Free to spend nights under city lights or country skies. Free to explore new places or spend quality time in an old one. Southwest Airlines offers over 240 daily nonstops from Midway to more than 60 destinations. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
I can't believe how much money we saved on our floors at
Luna. I shopped around, so I know we got the best deal.
Right now at Luna, get an incredible 70% off.
773-202. Luna.
At Panera Bread, we choose only crunchy, flavorful hearts of romaine for our salads, and only chicken raised without antibiotics. Because we want each of our hand-tossed, made-to-order salads to be the tastiest salads for the season. Panera Bread.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers.
Anybody else?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. And now the Chicago Cubs Southwest starting lineup. They have been shut out 3 times in their last 5 games, including Sunday in Milwaukee. What a game for Kyle Loesch of the Brewers. Bonifacio, Lake, and Rizzo, who has been hot, although he got kicked out of that game on Sunday for arguing balls and strikes. Castro, Valbuena, and Scherholtz in the middle. Coughlin, Baker, and Arrieta will round it out.
Take a look at the Mets defensively, brought to you by Kia, the veteran Young in left. The rookie Den Decker in center, Curtis Granderson in right. David Wright's won a couple Gold Gloves, 2007 and 8. He did that. Wilmer Flores is playing shortstop. Ruben Tejada's on the DL. Daniel Murphy at second base has some issues defensively. Lucas Duda's there at first, and Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate for our Lexus starting pitcher, Zach Wheeler, 24-year-old right-hander, former first-round pick. Good stuff.
He is ready to work. Zachary Harrison Wheeler, 6'4", 185.
2 and 5, 431. With a lot of ground balls.
Right on cue, Murphy will get Bonifacio. Georgia native Zach Wheeler.
Giants took him in the first round of the 2009 draft. He's 6th overall pick. And then dealt him to the Mets in July of 2011 for Carlos Beltran. One of those classic win now moves by the Giants. The Mets looking to the future, able to acquire a young, high ceiling right-hander.
Outer third for a strike on Junior Lake. Just 3 for his last 30. Wheeler not taking much time between pitches, a little bit below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. First time he's ever faced the Cubs, and therefore his Wrigley Field debut. Bouncer right back to Wheeler, who made his big league debut just about a year ago. 2 quick outs. Boy, I'll tell you, Kyle Loesch on Sunday, 93 pitches. The Cubs had 3 hits. And as rough an outing as Jeff Samardzija had, JD, even if he had been Jeff Samardzija and given up 1 or maybe 2, it might not have mattered.
Yeah, you know, and clearly I think the big lead took some of the steam out of the Cub at bats in that game. But yeah, Kyle Loesch was really, really good.
Rizzo only saw part of that game. He got kicked out after getting into it with Jerry Meals. He's in his second at bat of the ball game in the 4th inning. He was more upset about the previous pitch, and that one kind of set him off. I think he was upset about some calls he felt Samardzija didn't get. And he said the magic word about probably 2 words into that conversation. The word after that's. And then the 2 words after that I can't repeat.
That's not good, Jerry.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mets lead 1-0. And the pitch called strike 3. That comebacker caught the inside corner. Impressive stuff from Wheeler in the 1st inning.
Hey there, can I help you?
Sorry. Hi. We need a new family plan.
How about 10 gigs of data to share and unlimited talk and text?
Oh, 10 gigs sounds pretty good.
Yeah, really good. And for a family of 4, it's $160 a month.
What? Get out of here.
Sorry, are we still doing the whisper thing, or?
Oh, sorry. Yes. We'll take it.
Introducing our best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month, only from AT&T.
Think Honda Civic is the right fit? Think again. Civic can't park itself, but the Ford Focus can practically do it for you. Plus, Focus offers EcoBoost for great fuel efficiency. And we think that fits perfectly.
Now get a Focus with 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash. Or get $2,000 cash back.
Now's the perfect time to finish your big projects with the Menards 11% sale. There's never been a better time to save on everything you need. Get an 11% rebate on hardwood flooring and tile, an 11% rebate on kitchen and bath, 11% on patio and retaining wall blocks. Plus, don't forget paint and stain, power tools, doors, and lighting. Menards has everything you need to create the home of your dreams. Hurry in. Sale ends June 7th.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Cubs trailing 1-0 here at the top of the 2nd. You know, when Rick Renteria took this job as manager here with the Cubs, he was asked numerous times if he knew what he was getting into with this organization. Today, a third of the way through, he said he's been able to take some big positives out of this season, just a third of the way through, especially when it comes to Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo. Here's what else he had to say.
I know that the city wants a winner. I know that the community would like to have their club have more success than we've had, but I still keep my eye. I kind of put, I'm kind of putting blinders on, and I'm trying to stay focused on the things that I think we are improving on. I think our shortstop has done better. I think our first baseman has come along. I think our pitching has obviously done a very nice job. I think some of the guys that we've had, some of the younger guys have shown some of the things that they have. Holtby's shown that he's got some pop.
Ricky, a very positive guy, as all of us, of course, have learned, guys, but certainly something that has continued throughout the season, regardless of the ups and downs. He still finds ways to be positive and help these guys out in terms of learning as young players.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about right now for the Cubs. It's about developing and discovering the pieces you're going to move forward with.
Lucas Duda with a leadoff single. Now has a 7-game hitting streak. And here's Wilmer Flores, who had the game of his life last night in Philadelphia. Grand slam, a double, and a career high 6 knocked in. of it. That game did not go to extra innings. The previous 3 did. And in 5 games, the Mets and the Phillies played 57 innings. It took 20 hours and 36 minutes. Since 1912, according to Elias, there has been one 5-game series that has lasted more than 57 innings. Yankees and Tigers played 58 innings, 1962. Obviously, there aren't a lot of 5-game series anymore. We'll play one in Cincinnati coming up. Strike called. It's 1-2.
Yeah, and in so doing, they set the record for most cheesesteaks ingested in the visiting clubhouse in Philadelphia.
Stomach hurts just thinking about it. There's a bouncer toward right, and it's going to sneak past Bonifacio. Boy, it sure looked like Flores was guiding the ball that way. A little easier to do, I guess, with 2 strikes. And they have 2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, if you didn't know better, you would think it was a hit and run play with his approach. Just a defensive swing on a fastball that beat him, and he gets lucky. Cubs are playing for 2, so Bonifacio's pinching a little bit towards second base, and that creates a little more room to squirt that one through. The contact for the Mets much better in the first inning. But they're still looking to make some noise here after back-to-back singles in the second.
And a former Cub is the Mets first base coach, Tom Goodwin. Finished his career as a Cub in 03 and 04. He stole 369 bases over 14 years in the big leagues. A strike on Travis d'Arnaud. I love that small D on the back of the jersey. d'Arnaud and Den Decker both have it. He recently spent a couple of weeks on the concussion list. Got hit on a backswing by Alfonso Soriano. He had been using the hockey style mask. Went back to the old school variety. Here's the 1-1 from Arrieta, and it's popped foul out of play.
d'Arnaud has not done much yet, excuse me, with the bat in the big leagues. Minor league numbers good both ways. A real good hitter, sterling reputation defensively. We saw it with Wellington Castillo here, and you see it with a lot of young catchers. Sometimes it takes a while for the bat to catch up at the big league level. So much responsibility for a young catcher when he first comes to the big leagues.
Came over from the Blue Jays in the R.A. Dickey deal prior to 2013. As Rizzo makes a catch, that's the first out. And a big first out, because now Arrieta will deal with the pitcher and then back to the top. Wheeler, a left-handed batter, and will likely try to lay down a bunt to advance the runners. Yeah, how about this? Travis d'Arnaud's already been traded for Roy Halladay and R.A. Dickey. Someone should do some research and find out who's been traded for the most pitcher wins in baseball history. There's got to be somebody out there who's been traded for like 3 Hall of Fame pitchers. Maybe in the same deal. Who knows?
There you go. That's, I think, research should get cracking on that.
Baker setting up toward the outside. There's the bunt. Well executed. That will go 5-4 on the sacrifice.
A good job here by Wheeler. See the flex in the knees. I mean, that's really important. Get into a good athletic position.
I'll tell you, Den Decker should have played in the 70s before the flap.
Why is that?
Because his hair, it's got that good hair working on the right there, but on the left, the ear flap kind of ruins
diminishes the hair. Yeah. Is his middle name Den, or is his last name Den Decker?
I think that's his last name. Swing and a miss. Now the ear flap may save his life, but
tell him about looking good. This is the big leagues, man. Here's the pitch, 1-1. This is the critical pitch.
And it's a strike on a slider.
Take a look at the batting averages. From this point forward, going 1-2 versus 2-1, it's a significant difference. They're not really focusing on that.
Arrieta to the plate, and a bouncer to Valbuena in front of the runner. He fields it and throws to end the inning. Back-to-back hits to start the frame, but Arrieta and his defense get out of it. Still 1-0 Mets.
It's ice cream time anytime. Enjoy Dunkin's Baskin-Robbins inspired iced coffee flavors. America runs on Dunkin'.
Real sports fans want to watch the game live, and nobody has more live sports than Xfinity. This is our sports app.
It'll show you every game that's playing live and every game that's scheduled to play.
It's got everything I need. Live scores updated right now.
See these live games highlighted in white? Click on any of them and watch live.
Fourth quarter, it's all tied up. I want to see this triple overtime game.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. This is the ultimate experience right here.
Enjoy the most live sports like never before with an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true. Life is better with you. Oh, oh, life is better with you.
What's that? Grilled chicken flatbread from Dunkin'.
Grilled chicken flatbread from Dunkin'.
Take notes, people. It's delicious. Grilled chicken is now at Dunkin'. Try the delicious new grilled chicken flatbread with ancho chipotle sauce today. America runs on Dunkin'.
So this homestand features the Mets and the Marlins. The Cubs are celebrating the 1940s. The planned festivities include music, food, and giveaways. You don't need to go any further. Music, food, and giveaways? Doesn't get any better than that. And for more information about the year-long celebration, visit WrigleyField100.com. Tickets are available for every game this week, so visit Cubs.com to purchase your seats today. So music, food, festivities, all meant to reflect the 1940s.
Looking forward to those 42 uniforms coming up on Sunday.
Got some All-American Girl bobbleheads coming out.
Yeah. And as we get going here in the Cubs second, we want to send out congratulations to Hannah Hellman, who graduates from Lakeview High School tomorrow. She is off to the University of Dayton to study communications, and her dad Tom wanted to send out congrats.
Very special time. Congratulations.
We know Tom is Otis, the Cubs' fine clubhouse manager. I guess Hannah knows him as dad, not really Tom or Otis.
Papa Otis. Well, Wheeler has two of the components of a great fastball. He's got plus velocity, one of the hardest throwers in the league, and really good movement on his two-seamer. Now, if he can master the command part of it, he's going to be a top of the rotation pitcher, and if he stays healthy for a long time. And it's interesting when you look at these two organizations, the Cubs with all the position players they have in their pipeline coming up through, and the Mets that have really been pitching focused with, with Harvey, this kid, Syndergaard down in the minor leagues. They've got some really high ceiling starting pitchers.
Harvey not expected to return this year after October Tommy John surgery. Also closer Bobby Parnell after he pitched on opening day. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He had Tommy John in April.
The cut fastball at 91 miles an hour. Wheeler, as you mentioned, he's been a good ground ball pitcher this year, but he's averaging almost a strikeout per inning pitched as well. So those two things combined really set up well. You get a lot of ground balls, a lot of punch outs.
Swings through a pretty good fastball from Wheeler with that late movement.
Striking out 23% of the batters he has faced. That's better than league average, which is just under 20%, but he's walked 10%, which is among the higher walk rates amongst qualifying starting pitchers. Boy, ball really jumps out of his hand, though. Lively. Reminds me a little bit of Zach Greinke out there.
Just missed. I loved your use of the word amongst. You added the ST. It's kind of like a mid or a midst. I assume they're interchangeable.
Think so.
I don't know if necessarily one word is better used in certain situations, but I love the extra.
I might have used among earlier, and I didn't want to double up on among. That was the key.
All right. Well, I know we've got some language experts out there, so send us a tweet if you know the difference.
Field day with me.
3-2 on Valbuena, and he bounces foul past Eric Hinsky at first. Well, we're nearing the point where a lot of kids are getting out of school. So summer is starting here in Chicago. A 3-2 pitch. Valbuena with a good at bat here. He's starting to time Wheeler a little bit.
Think back to the first inning. He finished off Anthony Rizzo with a two-seam fastball that he started in and ran back to the inside corner. Going to try a slider. Darno initially called fastball, then changeup. Wheeler shook both those pitches off. Valbuena does not chase many pitches out of the zone.
It was the first non-fastball of the at-bat.
Two-seamer. Trying to run one down and away. It's probably the safest spot for him to go right now. I don't think he has a lot of confidence in his changeup. He just hasn't thrown that many of them. Probably doesn't have the feel for it.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat, and Valbuena fouled that one off his front foot. He's got some protection down there in the shin/ankle area, but looked like the ball missed the padding. Let's see. Oh, top of the foot.
Yeah. You can't pad everything because you have to be able to run.
in the air, deep to right. Granderson on the warning track is going to have room. He kind of looked behind him to see how much room he had. He actually came in a couple of steps to make the catch. He just missed it.
Yeah, wind blowing in a little bit off the lake this evening. On another day, a little bit later in the summer, this is probably a home run. Wrigley Field so far this year has played very pitcher friendly. At the end of the season, I suspect those numbers will turn around some.
There's Nate Scherholtz. 2 homers last week, first 2 of the season. That bat he is wielding is a Miguel Tejada model. Said when he was a Giant, along with Tejada used to borrow everybody's bats. Let me swing your bat. Let me swing. He said, let me swing yours, and he liked it.
When Tejada was in Houston, he used a very heavy bat. I don't know if that's what Nate's swinging these days.
Hitters count here with 2 outs.
A changeup at 89. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Fly ball to right is out of play.
Another one there at 87. His changeup so far this year, according to Fangraphs, is averaging 85 miles an hour.
Once the slider's got some funky movement. That's in the upper 80s on average.
When you throw as hard as he does with such good movement, you don't have to have a big separation between your fastball and changeup. Just a little bit to catch the hitter out in front. Get him out on that front foot, pop him up, and do some weak contact. That's the strategy.
He has given him every sign except for that one, the curveball. And it's ripped foul. Fun to watch catchers give signs, because in that sequence, Darno went fastball, sinker, slider, changeup. He kept shaking him off. Then they started over. He started with fastball, slider. So I mean,
he kind of like he
wants him to throw his fastball. And a base hit the other way. So the Cubs have a runner, the first hit of the night.
Good hitting here by Scherholtz on a 2-seam fastball moving away. Stays right with it. Gets himself a 2-out knock. That's a safe pitch to call if you're Darno. That's a pitch that the guy's not going to do a whole lot with. 2 outs, nobody on. You're pitching away from power. You don't want him to hit one over the wall or into the alley.
Outside on Coughlin, 1-1.
Yeah, ideally, most clubs, when you have a young guy like Wheeler on the mound, you like to have a veteran behind the plate. Just not the makeup of this Mets roster right now.
Wheeler's from Dallas, Georgia. in Paulding County. Population 11,500.
He was the Gatorade Georgia High School Player of the Year in both 2008 and 2009.
$30 miles out of Atlanta. David Wright gets over to the barrier, makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. It's 1-0 New York at the end of 2.
It all starts with the bread. We wake up thinking about it. Then bake it fresh in-store every day. It's a pretty good job with some nice fringe benefits. But we know you've been thinking about it too, because it's the very foundation of your sandwich. You don't take that lightly. So we're always trying to make it even better. That's why we added some ingredients and took others out. We think it's our best bread yet, but come in and see for yourself. Bread is on the rise at Subway.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Know that chasing performance can mean lower returns and fewer choices in retirement.
Know that proper allocation could help increase returns so you can enjoy that second home sooner.
Know the right financial plan can help you save for college and retirement. Hi.
Know where you stand with PNC Total Insight, a new investing and banking experience with personalized guidance and online tools. Visit a branch, call, or go online today.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Tomorrow night, Mets and Cubs once again here at Wrigley Field at 7:05. The first 10,000 in attendance get a Cubs cooler bag presented by Kraft Foods. Tickets for tomorrow night are still available and can be purchased at Cubs.com. That looks like a group. It would be a strange coincidence if it were just random fans wearing the same colored green shirt. Murphy lined out to third on a terrific defensive diving play by Luis Valbuena in the first inning.
Now Murphy, good solid ball player. He does not have a lot of range at second base. He's made 7 errors, but line drive hitter. Always hit for a high average.
Slider strike. One of the harder sliders you'll see in baseball at around 88, 89 miles an hour. And Jake Arrieta. It's like they're going upstairs with a fastball, and Murphy wouldn't bite. Fouled out of play. Well, we talked about the Mets. They are scoring runs on the road. They've won 6 of their last 7. They have a new hitting coach, Lamar Johnson. He was their longtime minor league hitting coordinator. He replaced Dave Hudgens, who was fired last week. Knocked down and and Castro does not have a play on Murphy.
Not fielded cleanly. If he gets it cleanly, he's got a shot at him. It's not going to be an easy play by any means. Up into the heel of his glove.
There's Lamar Johnson. There may be a White Sox fan or a Chicago baseball fan out there who remembers Lamar Johnson singing the national anthem before a game when he played for the White Sox. That would have been a long time ago.
How'd he do?
I did not see the film or the videotape, but I imagine it was nicely done.
Like Dwight Smith here for the Cubs.
Yeah. So the Mets now with a leadoff man singling off Arrieta in each of the first 3 innings. 1-1 to right.
Right, with good power to all fields. The power diminished obviously at Citi Field. His home run numbers have been off the last couple of seasons. It's tough because he hits the ball away really well, but he's pretty quick too. Middle in is no bargain against David Wright.
He's always had a great makeup. He's the 4th team captain in Mets history. Got an 8-year extension prior to last year, so pretty decent chance he'll retire as a Met. First round pick back in 01. And while he hasn't had the team success Derek Jeter has had, I'd say he's handled his time in the Big Apple similarly. 7-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover.
To challenge or not to challenge now for Arrieta on 3-2.
See if Murphy will be on the move here. He's not running, and Wright just took his second walk.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Wright. He's a patient guy, so if you feel like you're going to be able to get him to chase in that situation, not likely. Maybe in an RBI situation he might be willing to expand. The last thing he wants to do is hit a ground ball on a pitch out of the zone and clean up the inning with a double play ball. So he kind of sniffed out the approach by Arrieta there, able to take his walk and just keep the line moving.
Granderson gave the Mets the lead with a sac fly in the first inning. He bats with 2 on and nobody out here in the 3rd. A swing and a miss, strike 1. Granderson went to Thornton Fractional South High School, member of the University of Illinois Chicago Athletics Hall of Fame. And Arrieta's 0-1 is a strike. 0-2.
Now he's got options. Got to be thinking punch out here. Option 1 didn't get him to bite. High fastball, not a bad idea. Now he can either go back up there or try that breaking ball. Through that the strike 2 curveball, just kind of a roller at 80 miles an hour. That's the get over curveball. The swing and miss curveball, more of a power pitch. That one. Granderson strikes out a lot, but he also walks a lot. That's what Baker and Arrieta have to kind of contemplate here. Sooner or later you might have to throw one in the strike zone.
Well, 2 strikes now, 3 straight balls, and it's a full count.
I think the most important thing to know as a pitcher, and I guess to a great degree a catcher, is who walks and who doesn't walk. How likely are they to chase? And certainly when you got 0-2, it made sense to go out of the zone at least once to see if he would chase. But because he does walk a fair bit, you know, once you're 1-2, you're probably better off being a little more aggressive.
Runners are not going. That pitch was a little bit of a hanger on a slider. And Granderson with a 2-strike approach, able to fight it off. Now there's a lot of stuff out there on the mound tonight. Arrieta and Wheeler. Wheeler has been able to command his a little better here early. Another 3-2, and that ball driven out into right center. It's going to drop down. Murphy had to make sure, so he can only advance to third. Tim Tuffle with his arms up, and they're loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, I think Jake in trouble here, just primarily because of a little bit of a defensive approach. First with Wright, walked him, and then Granderson, after getting the jump on him, let him back into the count. Maybe not trusting his stuff enough. It's, you know, it's one thing for a soft tosser whose velocity is, you know, league average or touch below to nibble, but with Arrieta's stuff, I think Chris Bosio, and maybe this is part of the message that's being delivered here, is to be, you know, be a little more aggressive when you get the jump on the hitter. Go ahead. When you got a hitter in a pitcher's count, you know, far less likely to make solid contact. So make your pitch at 1-2, certainly 2-2, as opposed to running that count full.
So the Cubs will play their middle infielders in double play depth. Actually, everybody back. Again, just a couple of steps to try to turn 2 here. Limit the damage a little bit as Young swings away and fouls. Not much of an average, but 2 career grand slams for Young. Ground ball rolled foul. Well, it's the 3rd inning and it's only 1-0, but this certainly feels like a pretty big spot for the Cubs starter tonight.
And if you could get out of this allowing just 1 run, you'd take that trade. Good try. Trying to shave the edge off that outside corner with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
A 1-2. Rizzo will fire to the plate. They get 1. He had some options there and decided to get the lead man, so they're still loaded with 1 out.
Initially was thinking about turning 2, took a look at second base, and then decided to throw home.
I think he did the right thing. I think he realized with Young running that it was going to be a tough turn.
Yeah, I agree.
Three on for Lucas Duda. He hit a game-winning home run in the 11th inning on Sunday in Philadelphia. It was a 2-run shot.
3-6-1 or 3-6-3 double play. Difficult to convert when you got a guy like Young going down the line, and Anthony would have had a long way to run back to the bag after making the throw to second base.
One-0 pitch fouled off. Now this is the type of approach the Mets like from Duda, and that is that left center field approach. You see he hit it over 400 feet for a home run. Certainly that type of swing will play in this ballpark, especially with the wind direction tonight. Strike called. It's 1-2. Jam shot pop up. Castro will make the catch. 2 outs. So now all of a sudden Arrieta thinking about getting out of it completely.
He's going to renege on that trade. Never mind the 1 run. He's trying to post a 0 here. 1-2 fastball. And this is what I'm talking about. When you have the jump on the hitter, they're in a little bit of a defensive posture. Good time to attack. Hitter in protect mode's telling himself, hey, stay back, don't get fooled. They tend to be a little late on the fastball.
Still not out of it yet. Flores had that big night last night. It's already 1 for 1 as he guided one to right. Flores was originally a shortstop, but a couple of years ago they moved him to third base. Now he's back at short. And Arrieta caught it. That's probably a 2-run single with 2 outs, but Jake Arrieta put his glove right where the ball was headed, and he gets out of it with no damage done. And it's still 1-0.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Moments.
Sorry, folks. Still waiting on that mechanic.
Jack Link's Jerky, the protein-packed way to feed your wild side.
Well, Harper's coming up to the plate. You know, I don't believe it, but he signed that 2-year contract that puts him on a limited hit plan.
Absolutely terrible. He gets fined for getting too many hits.
And he's already over his monthly hit limit. And there's a base hit up the middle.
And here come the overages.
Switch to the Uncarrier. T-Mobile is doing things differently. No long-term service contracts. No ridiculous overages.
Striker, you're too low. I know, but Wisconsin is so beautiful in the summer. So much to do. Over. Roger. What? Boating, fishing, biking. Huh? I wish I was down there. Roger.
My name is Kareem.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit flying.
I can't believe I ever left this place.
Wow. Welcome home.
Thursday, Wellington Castillo and the Cubs wrap up their 3-game set with New York's Metropolitans. Don't miss the Northsiders defend their home turf and end the series on a high note. Cubs, Mets, Thursday at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Wrigley. Mets on top 1-0, courtesy of Curtis Granderson, who had the sac fly there in the first inning. And he's got his own cheering block here tonight. Of course, a UIC alum, and attributes much of his success to that program, and it shows his appreciation earlier this year by donating $5 million to the school, which, according to Sports Illustrated, is the largest known one-time donation from a pro athlete to their alma mater. And with that donation, the Flames able to build a brand new $10 million baseball facility named, of course, Granderson Stadium. Curtis able to attend the ribbon cutting ceremony in April, which we're seeing a few of the pictures of here, but a very generous donation, and a guy who says he's always enjoys his time back here in Chicago, gentlemen. But that's really cool, and of course, always cool to have your own cheering block there, right?
Especially, yeah, on the road, although this is where he's from, and don't know Curtis Granderson well, but everybody you talk to who does know him, they said he's a 10, an A+.
In hockey parlance, he's good in the room.
Right. Well, let's see if the Cubs now can jump on Wheeler after Arrieta found a way out of the bases loaded no out jam.
Tonight's pitching matchup, Zach Wheeler versus Harry Houdini. Arrieta been in trouble all night, but he's allowed just the 1 run.
Breaking ball from Wheeler as Baker fouls it off. His backup is Eli Whiteside. Got a good look at the veteran right-handed hitting Whiteside in spring training. He's here to replace the injured Wellington Castile. Hector Rondon off the paternity list. Jose Barris designated for assignment today. That backs up right. And he throws in plenty of time. So here comes Arrieta for his first plate appearance, in time for our Xfinity high-speed action. Quick reflexes.
Yep, and Burrow again from hockey. Glove save and a beauty by Arrieta, saving himself a couple of runs.
2 for 8 on the year with the bat. So I saw an AP note yesterday on the off day that I found interesting. I have not collected, purchased, really had any baseball cards in a long time. But did you know that Topps now has wins above replacement on the back?
I did not know that.
And they added it last year. They've been
very progressive.
Yep, producing cards since 1951, and we often talk about the numbers on the back of a baseball card, but they're now starting to blend in some of the more advanced statistics.
They get rid of that bad gum. Is that still in there too?
I would hope it's sugarless. I ate a lot of that stuff.
I guess I'd be disappointed to open a pack of cards and not find that bad gum. Very nostalgic.
I could thank Topps for a lot of fillings as a kid, I think. Third strikeout for Wheeler is he'll face Bonifacio with 2 outs, nobody on. The consensus, by the way, got a tweet from a teacher who's now on vacation for the summer. My mom sent me an email that among and amongst mean the same thing, so they're interchangeable.
A lot of hard contact from the Mets hitters so far tonight. Not so much for the Cubs. Just 1 base hit. Opposite field single by Shearholtz.
Got a tweet from Bion Thompson. Have you ever seen an intentional walk with the bases loaded to limit the damage because of who was at the plate? Yeah. I mean,
Barry
Bonds was walked by Buck Showalter, who had a late lead. He walked in a run. Then Brent Maine came up and I think lined out to right to end the game.
Sinking line drive.
A bold but certainly defensible move. Bonds probably would have walked anyway.
Good point.
There's a 2-0. It's a strike.
Yeah, I think now in today's game, in the non-steroid theoretically era, and no Bonds doing what he did back then, I don't know that move would be defensible regardless of who the hitter is. Even Miguel Cabrera.
I guess if let's say the Tigers are playing in a National League park and they literally had no position players behind them and the pitcher spot ended up there.
Yeah.
You might do it knowing that you have to face a pitcher versus Miguel Cabrera, but that's about it. Bonifacio with a 2-out walk.
Because I believe in the case of the Showalter Bonds game we're talking about, I think it was like a 3-run lead, right? Maybe a 7-4 ball game or something like that.
Sounds right.
One steal, one successful steal, one caught stealing with Wheeler on the mound this year. D'Arnaud, the catcher, has thrown out 18%.
It was a 1-run game.
It was a 1-run game.
The team was ahead 8-6.
Wow.
1998. May 28th of that year.
He made it an 8-7 game.
Yep.
Wow.
Brent Main said, I've never seen anything like it. Maybe in Little League if a guy's hitting 900. What do you think Greg Olson felt about it? The guy who had to basically give up a run, right? Yeah, it would have been a run I think he was charged with. Skip, you're telling me to walk in a run.
And Buck would have said, yeah, but I'm saving you 3. So I mentioned earlier about the critical nature of the 1-1 offering. Here are the numbers. After 1 ball to 2 strikes, major league hitters bat 175. After 2 and 1, they hit 246.
There goes Bonifacio. Lake drives one out in the right. Bonifacio will just keep on going with 2 outs as Granderson makes the catch and throws the ball up into his fan club. It is 1-0 New York after 3.
Heat shields are compromised. We have multiple failures. Are those thrusters burning?
That's negative. What's that alarm?
Fuel cell 2 is down. I'm having to enter in manually.
This is very exciting. But I'm at my stop.
Come again?
I'm watching this on the train. It's so hard to leave. Good luck with everything.
With the UVerse TV app, the UVerse revolves around you.
This is the Andersons' new Honda Accord LX. Compared to a Ford Fusion, in the first 5 years it could save them $1,500 in gas and end up costing them a total of $3,500 less to own, according to Edmunds.com. No wonder the Accord is the best-selling midsize car in America. Start something special now with the Accord. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Cooper engineers its tires not just for performance, but real-life performance. So before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you, because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. Buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires and get up to a $70 prepaid card by mail. See retailer for details.
After every Cubs game, stay tuned for Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live. Cap and Holly break down the game and take you live to the stadium to hear from Renteria and the players. Cubs postgame live after every Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. 1-0 Mets lead. We head to the 4th. This Thursday is Jersey off our back night here at Wrigley Field. Cubs-Mets play at 6:05. Autographed game-worn jerseys will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats after the ball game. That's compliments of Majestic, the official on-field uniform of Major League Baseball.
Mets have had 5 more batters in the same amount of innings. Arrieta has had to work around a lot more trouble. The Mets have also stranded 6 through 3.
Their frustration quotient is much higher.
D'Arnaud, Wheeler, and Dendecker. 2-1. So what? It goes from what? 1-2 to 2-1 goes from 170 something to 240 something.
After 1 and 2, hitters bat 175 with a 225 on base percentage and a 260 slugging average.
Base hit. Well, so you got it to 2-1.
So basically, after 1-2, major league hitters become like pitchers for the most part with a bat in their hands. After 2-1, they bat 246 with a 383 on base percentage. That's the one that really gets your attention. That 383 on base and a 396 slugging average. That's why a lot of pitching coaches, a lot of organizations preach 2 strikes, first 3 pitches.
Wheeler has already laid down 1 sacrifice, make it 2. He's done a really nice job in that regard. And the Mets, who've had leadoff hits in every inning, are threatening yet again.
Yeah, well, their left on base has matched the inning so far. They left 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and they can't leave 4. So that trend will not continue. Wheeler up there to bunt. He got that first pitch strike and he put it down. So many times you see a guy up there in a sacrifice situation take that first pitch strike.
Hearing you say that, I've also heard people say you can't steal first base, and yet we saw it happen last year. So I generally agree with you that you shouldn't be able to leave 4 men on base.
But you never know.
But in this game, we see some funky stuff. The 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
Now, one of the keys for Jake Arrieta in all of his starts is finding the feel for his curveball. If he has it early, typically he has a good night. He struggles with it, not so much. But he's wiggled out of some jams here tonight. So, regardless of how things have gone to this point, he's still in real good shape to pitch a fine game because he's only allowed the 1 run. No points for artistic merit in this league. You just try to keep the other team off the scoreboard.
Foul tip, strike 3. That was first one tonight.
It is indeed.
Wow. First strikeout coming here in the 4th inning.
Power late breaking slider, diving down and in. It's going to change lanes right about there.
Strike called on Murphy, who's lined out and singled.
Didn't Murphy have a 2-home-run game here last year?
Sounds right.
Or something. Maybe it was over at their place. I know he had a big home run.
Yes, I think it was here.
Hit the ball hard twice tonight. Lined out to third. Infield single to short.
Taps foul. Well, in 2012, he hit 2 on June 27th off Jeff Samardzija and Casey Coleman. And he hit 2 in the same series last year. One was a tie-breaking homer late off Kyuji Fujikawa, which might be the one you're thinking of.
Has to be. What's Kyuji doing these days?
Still
in Arizona,
rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. One and 2 with 2 outs and a man at second. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Wright would bat next. Here it comes. We'll try it again. Former Cub closer Kevin Gregg is hooked on with one of his other former teams, the Miami Marlins. Minor league deal. Lake coming on, and he'll grab it, and the inning is over. So Arrieta once again works around a leadoff single. It's still 1-0 Mets.
At Southwest, we want all of our passengers to be free. Free to spend nights under city lights or country skies. Free to explore new places or spend quality time in an old one. Southwest Airlines offers over 240 daily nonstops from Midway to more than 60 destinations. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Caring for you and your eyes just got a little easier. Right now, buy one pair of eyeglasses or prescription sunglasses and get another one free. This is genuine eye care right in your neighborhood. This is Pearl Vision.
Whichever sport, whatever team, every Chicago fan deserves a better pizza. For a limited time with Papa John's Fan Frenzy deal, get a large 3-topping pizza, just $9.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey there, can I help you?
Sorry.
Hi, we need a new family plan.
How about 10 gigs of data to share and unlimited talk and text?
Oh, 10 gigs sounds pretty good.
Yeah, really good. And for a family of 4, it's $160 a month.
What? Get out of here.
Sorry, are we still doing the whisper thing, or?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
We'll take it.
Introducing our best ever family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month, only from AT&T.
Big hand for Sergeant First Class Timothy Sanders. Currently serving in the Illinois Army National Guard as the logistics coordinator for Illinois CERFP. He served in Springfield and Quincy, was deployed to Afghanistan in 2012. He returned, I should say, in November of 2012 and got a great hand here. And it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear later on in our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. Maybe they will send it in.
Phil Rafter. Send it in, Jerome.
I was thinking the same thing after I said it. Got a nice note from Lynn Bramer, our good friend from XRT. Wanted to know how the pitch count stats affect statistical freaks like Ted Williams. Lynn, I don't think I have count breakdowns for Teddy Ballgame on Baseball Reference. They've got his batting average at different spots in the lineup and number of outs in the inning and what have you. But how about this? Here's what I do have for you. Runners in scoring position, 331. Nobody on base, 332. Man at first, 357. Man at second, 323. Man at third, 355. First and second, 326. First and third, 362. In every base runner situation, Ted Williams hit over 300. That's drilled foul.
Well, here's a great example of the count, the 2-1 swing that Rizzo had right there. He was out in front of it, but you don't get that defensive swing when you're ahead in the count. Yeah, Teddy Ballgame, it didn't matter. Day, night,
clutch
left,
stats. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, late and close tie game within 1 run, all over 300. Rizzo late that time on a heater.
Like he thought, well, you know, in the back of his mind, he was remembering the fastball that he got beat on for called strike 3 last time up. That was a great pitch by the Mets. Good call, good execution. See that front hip? He's looking for that fastball in that he took for strike 3 last time. He was not going to get beat by that pitch again. He'd made up his mind, but he became vulnerable to the outside fastball.
Pitch to Castro, low and outside.
So let's see if we can help Lynn out a little bit. Let's take Miguel Cabrera, maybe.
Okay.
Just, you know, since we can't use Ted Williams, we'll look for a really good hitter in the modern game. Miguel Cabrera, when he falls behind in the count 1-2, is a .229 hitter with a .255 on base. So that from that point forward in the at bat, that's what he does. After 2 balls 1 strike, he's a .310 hitter with a .408 on base, a .452 slugging.
What do you have a first pitch?
He hits .429 on the when he puts the first pitch in play. Yeah. And most, that's typically a very high batting average around the league. First pitch put in play. And that's the challenge for the pitcher, to be able to throw strike 1, but to do it in such a way to minimize the contact. If you can hit a corner, or we talk so much about the get over curveball, just flip up that slow curveball in the zone when a guy's, you know, most hitters go up there ready to hit the fastball.
Full count on Castro. Valbuena on deck. Cubs shut out on Sunday, still looking for their first run tonight. And a fly ball to right will be gobbled up by Granderson for the out.
Yeah, this game taking on the field so many of the Cub games lately, we're not able to do a whole lot against starting pitchers. You know, Lincecum had that no-hitter going through 5 innings. Kyle Loesch brilliant on Sunday. And just a lot of games lately where the Cubs have been able to do very little in the early innings. The good news is that Arrieta has been able to tiptoe around all this traffic and allow just the 1 run. Cubs' last 6 games have been decided by at least 4 runs apiece. There hasn't been a lot of drama lately.
Oh, 1 on Valbuena. Flying to the warning track and right to end a deep at bat his last time up. Now 0-2. James Long tweets us, I wonder if Teddy Baseball would have hit that high of an average with defensive shifts. Well, remember the Ted Williams shift.
He shifted.
So
yeah.
he had to deal with that. Lou Boudreau. CBS Sports article about the Ted Williams shift. July 14th, 1946. Basically the entire Indians team was on the right side of the field, and Ted Williams went 4 for 3 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. You want to shift? I'm just going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Shift into the bleachers. Why don't you? At the end of 4, it's still 1-0 New York.
It's our firm belief that corners are meant to be hugged, not cut. Luxury without compromise. The all-new Audi A3, starting at $29,900. Experience uncompromised luxury at your local Audi dealer.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends too.
It's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook. Book your next special memory at the Champagne Lodge today. You know you deserve it.
I am proud to say that I've got my DirecTV bill down to just $12 a month. And all I did was refer people I already knew. 2 soccer moms, 2 cousins, our sitter, and one of my husband's coworkers. And I get a discount for every one. You should have seen the look on my husband's face. He started calling me the referral queen.
Refer a friend to DirecTV, and you'll both get $10 off your bill every month. Just give them your account number before they call 1-855-REFER-NOW.
Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight.
Mets lead the Cubs 1-0, and I can get lost on Baseball Reference for hours and days and weeks, and I often do in the middle of the winter. Yeah, that's the Ted Williams page I was looking at.
So those are his various splits, base out situations, and we look at the batting average in all those situations throughout his long career. I'll draw a nice little semicircle oval kind of thing around there. And check out those on-base plus sluggings. If you're over 1,000 on-base plus slugging, you are among the elite. And you know, some guys have years where they do it. I mean, he did it pretty much every single year.
Incredible.
2 outs, runners in scoring position. Yeah,
that's it's little league numbers.
Yeah.
By the way, just to clarify, he went 4 for 5 with 3 homers in the first game of a doubleheader. Then they put the shift on. He went 1 for 2 with a double and 2 walks. He had all 3 outfielders
on the pull side.
On the pull side, yeah.
And you can make a case when you look at the numbers and you look at his career and the time he lost to the WAR. That, you know, if he had maintained his averages through the time he missed, that he could have passed Babe Ruth and become the all-time home run leader. He would have had to extend his career another year perhaps, but you know, if he were knocking on the door of Ruth's record, he likely would have done that.
2-1 on right. He has already walked twice tonight. Arrieta really needs to get the first batter. He's had to work from the stretch almost exclusively in this game.
Yeah, so like some of his previous starts, the pitch count gets to be a little bit of an issue. David right atop, a pretty impressive list of hitters. Career .301 batting average.
Guy second on that list is about 10 feet away from us in the Mets television booth. Keith Hernandez. Now back. Still 2-2.
He asked me to help him move this weekend, but I just don't feel like I can make that commitment.
Well played. 2-2.
Ooh.
Now full.
Gary Cohen alongside the play-by-play man. Keith doing color for the Mets tonight.
They do a great job. They're one of the tandems, and then they add Ron Darling to the mix. I will go out of my way to check them out. Got him on the comebacker for strike 3.
Just the late movement back to the outside corner gets it done for Arrieta. So quality pitch there on 3-2 after walking right twice. He still did not want to throw him a cookie. Painted the outside edge. Very nice. Roll of the eyes from the Met captain, but it was a good pitch.
Comes over shifting to the right on the infield. So Castro is kind of playing the hybrid shortstop third baseman position in on the grass. One and two.
So there's Castro there. Get fancy on you. Second sacker Bonifacio. There's Valbuena. Rizzo doesn't get a ball.
Granderson's had a pretty good night. Sac fly and 2 singles.
And normally when you see that shift on for a left-handed pull hitter with power, the shortstop will stay deep, but because Granderson, because of his speed, the threat that he might possibly drop a bunt down, or even if he hits a slow roller, you got to be able to defend that. That's why they had Castro in.
Long pause by Arrieta. Now he fires over to first. Ryan Zimmerman is back from the disabled list and starting tonight in left field for the first time. Third baseman by trade.
Stop living in the past. Oh, sorry.
Zimmerman coming back from a thumb injury.
Well, yeah, he's had physical problems throwing. He's had the shoulder issues, but he's also had he's kind of got the yips over there at third base. A lot of throwing errors the last 2 or 3 years for Zimmerman. But obviously, the guy in the prime of his career, a very dangerous bat. If he can make the transition to left field, it will really help the club. It will help him. They got the kid Rendon there playing third base, who's got some pretty significant upside. And kudos to Zimmerman for, yeah, I'll go down and play a few games on my rehab in left field and see how it goes and take a shot at it.
Runner goes. Granderson got a pretty good jump, fouled back by Young.
Was a shortstop when he first signed. You know, and athletic enough here. It should not be a problem at all to make the move to left field.
Well, on the defensive spectrum, yeah, left field, first base. Although I think first base has maybe some more difficulties than some people think. It's a pretty important position, but normally on the defensive spectrum, you start at one certain position, you normally go in one direction, and certainly from third, you'd go to left. You normally wouldn't see a guy go from left to third. Then there's Craig Biggio, just did whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
He just kept getting farther from home plate.
Biggio,
and then did he catch it his last game?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did go back behind the plate. There was one year where they used him out in center field. I mean, that's how good an athlete he was. That's something you don't often see a guy who came up as a catcher be able to go out and play center field for you. A close watch on Granderson. Understandable middle innings of a one-run ball game. It's a very important base runner.
See Arrieta nearing 100 pitches. Granderson runs again, and a fly ball to right. Granderson able to locate it. He'll head back to first as Sherholtz puts it away, and that's 2 outs in the inning. Well, we've seen this type of start from Arrieta in the past. You know, 5 innings, 5 1/3, keeping his team in the ball game, but throwing a lot of pitches.
Final in already. The Marlins beat the Rays 1-0.
Wow, Tampa Bay lost again.
Alvarez beat Archer. Third shutout of the year for Alvarez. Henderson Alvarez. A game that took 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Tampa Bay has the worst record in the American League. But they're 8th in a row.
Sounds right.
23 and 36. The 1-0 on the way to Duda as Granderson takes off yet again, and he's in. Cubs have had a big problem throwing out base stealers, mostly on the pitchers this year, you'd have to say. Good throw by Baker, but it's not in time.
You need a pitcher who's able to unload the ball quickly to home plate, and obviously the catcher not only does he need to have a strong throw, but it's the whole package: the quick feet, the quick release, and then the strong, accurate throw.
Baker's now 0 for 13. Wellington Castillo's 4 out of 35, and throwing out base stealers. This will be the 100th pitch for Arrieta, and it's a strike. It's 2-2. Two is yanked foul.
That's 1 out of 10 with runners in scoring position. Again, they've had all the chances. They've had all the shots on goal.
Another 2-2 and another foul.
Gonna have to move on from this hockey thing. Very disappointing here the last couple days with the Hawks losing, and then follow that up with yesterday. Julia lost on Jeopardy.
She did.
Yeah, local gal. She won like 20 straight times. Very depressing in our household. Those back-to-back whacks.
20 straight wins. That's about a month.
She was like $500,000.
It's full 3-2. Some of the people traveling with the Mets were hoping Blackhawks would have beaten the Kings because they wanted to maybe sneak over to the United Center after our game tomorrow night to see the Rangers and the Blackhawks. So Granderson bottom right with 2 outs, and Duda fouls yet again.
Yeah, that would have been fun, right? The old New York Chicago thing. We would have got the pizza wars going. Get the mayors firing on each other. Oh well.
Deep breath by Jake, and another 3-2, and he walked him.
We're sending John Baker out to talk to Arrieta to buy a little more time. Brian Schlitter. Now Chris Bosio was halfway up the dugout steps. He's being called back by Ricky Renteria.
Let's see Ray McEntee at the ballpark tonight. He's over from Dublin, Ireland, celebrating his 30th birthday. here at Wrigley Field.
That's why Bosio was called back. Renteria decided to make a pitching change, I believe.
Also could be a little pep talk. Say, look, this is it. It's gonna be your last batter. Get him. Get out of this inning. Give me everything you got. Not coming out. Oh, he is.
Yeah, okay. It was more than, so it's always hard to read Ricky, and it was more the patting on the chest saying, hey, I'm gonna get you here, but I'm not gonna make the move. I'm not gonna ask for him until I absolutely have to, till the umpire comes in and tells me. I'm trying to give him some time out there.
Brian Schlitter coming on when we return.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers.
Anybody else?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
This is Paul's new Honda Civic, the same car that will take him and a very pretty girl on the best first date ever, with the Pandora that will set the mood on their 1-year anniversary, and the Bluetooth that will remind him she's a keeper and don't mess this up, and the glove compartment that will hold everything he needs, including one very small box. Start something special now with the Civic from KBB.com's most trusted car brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Relax, Carlos. With McDonald's, you can afford to win them both over.
Now get 2 Big Mac sandwiches for just $5. The one-of-a-kind, juicy, and delicious classic that everyone loves. For a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Right-hander Brian Schlitter is on to try to get out of this 5th inning. 2 on with 2 down. He'll face Wilmer Flores as shortstop.
And you get the sense that Brian Schlitter is kind of moving up the ladder a little bit in terms of the manager's confidence in the different guys out there in that bullpen, and the numbers support Renteria's confidence in him. He's been really, really good. A little finger painting. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. And just goes from bad to worse. He's a strike thrower, sinker slider. The base hit was weakly hit. His out was a bullet back to the mound that Arrieta caught to end the 3rd and leave the bases loaded.
Candid stab there by the catcher Baker. 1 ball, 1 strike. 105 pitches for Arrieta. 7 hits, 3 walks. Faced 24 batters in under 5 innings. That's a lot of traffic. But only trailing right now 1-0. The kick and the pitch, it's low. And a slider.
Yeah, he was McGruber tonight. He's out of trouble. He bent, but he did not break.
I was going to say, what's the difference between MacGyver and McGruber? You're going with the SNL guy instead of the guy he's spoofing. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
McGruber's more fun, yeah. Those things usually didn't end well for McGruber, did they?
I was going to say, I think
no.
We have to rethink the reference.
Yeah.
2 on, 2 down, and a 2-2 count on the Mets shortstop.
Ooh.
And a swing and a miss as Baker will fire to Rizzo, and Schlitter helps Arrieta get out at the beginning. The Mets have stranded runners in every inning. They lead 1-0 in the 5th.
You were great.
Home run? Did you get hit by a pitch?
No.
Well, that's something to celebrate.
Wendy's Frosty Waffle Cone makes every celebration a little sweeter.
Now that's better.
This is Paul's new Honda Civic, the same car that will take him and a very pretty girl on the best first date ever, with the Pandora that will set the mood on their 1-year anniversary, and the Bluetooth that will remind him she's a keeper and don't mess this up, and the glove compartment that will hold everything he needs, including one very small box. Start something special now with the Civic from KBB.com's most trusted car brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Real sports fans want to watch the game live, and nobody has more live sports than Xfinity.
This is our sports app.
It'll show you every game that's playing live and every game that's scheduled to play.
It's got everything I need. Live scores updated right now.
See these live games highlighted in white? Click on any of them and watch live.
Fourth quarter, it's all tied up. I want to see this triple overtime game.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is the ultimate experience right here.
Enjoy the most live sports like never before with an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
You were great.
Home run? Did you get hit by a pitch?
No.
Well, that's something to celebrate.
Wendy's Frosty Waffle Cone makes every celebration a little sweeter.
Now that's better.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts Sportsnet Central update. The Blackhawks spoke to the media for the first time since their run for the Cup ended on Sunday. Contract talk was the big topic. Patrick Kane said he hasn't thought about it much. Both he and Jonathan Taves, free agents after next season. And we'll hear from GM Stan Bowman on Sportsnet Central after post-game live. Now back to Len and JD at Wrigley.
We are back. Your vote decides today's player of the game. Vote now. Log on to Cubs in-game live on CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Zach Wheeler carrying a 1-0 lead.
Yeah,
he's bottom of the 5th.
I imagine most Cub fans aren't going to vote for Zach Wheeler, but he's been the man of the match so far. One scratch single allowed.
He spent a lot more time sitting in the Mets dugout than he has on the mound. Cubs have been shut out 8 times already, tied for the most in the majors, and as I mentioned off the top, 3 out of their last 5 games without a run, including Sunday against the Brewers. With that big outburst on Saturday. The 1-0 to Sherholtz. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Joe Montana, one of our favorite 7th inning stretch guests. Originally sang the stretch back in 1998, so he was one of the originals and has been basically doing it every year since. So we look forward to chatting with Joe before the 7th inning stretch tonight. Sharply hit on the ground past Murphy. Cubs have 2 hits. They both come from Nate Sherholtz.
Last time it came with 2 outs in the 2nd. Here it's a leadoff knock. See if the Cubs can make a little something happen here.
Because of the pitcher's spot that might come up this inning. James Russell has to get loose in the bullpen in case they need to hit for Schlitter.
You'd hit for a guy that's batting 1,000?
Yeah, I probably would. I gotta be
would
honest.
too, yeah. He got his first big league knock the other day in Milwaukee. Rare at bat.
I think he'd probably be better off if he never hit again.
Yeah, to sit on that.
There goes Sherholtz, and it was a hit and run. Coghlan couldn't make contact, and Sherholtz a dead duck. Now, you might be sitting at home saying, Nate, what do you do? That's on the hitter. Hitter's got to make contact on a hit and run play because the runner is in peril there.
Nate breaking it down as he sees no contact. But, you know, the one thing, I've talked to some managers that say, you know, the old way that play was taught was, hey, don't get picked off. You don't need to get a good jump here. Putting the burden on the hitter to make contact. With a right-handed pitcher on the mound, I would argue just behave like you're stealing the base. Just go get a good aggressive jump. Go like you're stealing the base. And he didn't have a huge lead, but he got a good jump. But it's right about here when there's no contact, and he realized he's toast. Still not sure why he slowed down. I mean, you just go ahead and run through the,
Was he thinking he might stop and head back? I don't know.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
2-2. Wheeler from the first base side of the rubber, and Coghlan able to just get a piece of it. Two more under the lights to finish up this series. Daisuke Matsuzaka and Edwin Jackson tomorrow night as Coghlan strikes out. 5 now for Wheeler. He's had exactly 1 per inning. Literally 1 in every inning.
Really uses his legs driving towards home plate, and again that fastball just real clean leaving his hand. It doesn't look like he's really going max effort there.
We can ask Nate tomorrow, but the only other explanation for him slowing down is maybe he thought there was contact. He was trying to locate the ball on that awkward Coghlan swing. Ground ball back to the mound, handled by Wheeler. And the inning is over. Just 2 hits tonight for the home team. Not much in terms of threats.
Hey, is that a chainsaw carving of a chainsaw?
It's a Craftsman chainsaw. We have all the best brands. Weber, Scott's, Craftsman.
Genius.
It is.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor. Now through June 15th, stop by your neighborhood Ace to find a great Father's Day gift Dad will really love. And right now, you'll get a free 17-inch Craftsman outdoor thermometer with a $20 Craftsman purchase. At Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Relax, Carlos. With McDonald's, you can afford to win them both over.
Now get 2 Big Mac sandwiches for just $5. The one-of-a-kind juicy and delicious classic that everyone loves. For a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Thursday, Wellington Castillo and the Cubs wrap up their 3-game set with New York's Metropolitans. Don't miss the Northsiders defend their home turf and end the series on a high note. Cubs, Mets, Thursday at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Sports trivia fans, come to McBride's in Joliet Thursday at 5 for a chance to be on Beer Money. Be on the show where we ask the questions and you win the cash. Don't miss your shot to be on Beer Money, presented by Coors Light. Test your sports trivia knowledge. And the party of the century continues all week. We celebrate the 1940s. There's Friday, June 6th, when the Cubs take on the Marlins at 3:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive an All-American Girls Professional Baseball League bobblehead. Number 4 of 10 special Wrigley Field Friday bobblehead giveaways. Tickets are still available, including in the Budweiser bleachers. Go to Cubs.com today. Schlitter stays in as the pitcher spot did not come up. And a strike on the catcher, Darno. On 2 bounces, Rizzo backed up, which can always be a little dangerous, but he wanted to get a truer hop, and he flips to Schlitter in time. Now Wheeler will not be asked to lay down a bunt this time. He did in his first 2 plate appearances.